Okay, we're back, and now we've got the lead vocal edited to the top of the timeline. We've looked at this little section that was copied down for delayed throw, and what we need to do with that is we need to actually grab that with this marquee, swipe it all the way to the top, and join. And the reason for this is we're going to export multi-tracks at the end of this mix prep, and we want everything to start at the top of the timeline. So when you build a new project in any DAW, you could mix this in Pro Tools, anything, it will line up. You can't have little pieces because when you drag them in, it won't line up. Okay, cool. So click track we don't need. I'm going to remove that by Control H, hide that. And here's a vocal harmony. It looks like this section was decided to not be used. So I usually trust the engineer when they do that. And I'm going to actually just Command X, erase. Okay, so at this point, make sure you've saved. And just to be safe. And let's listen to this track on its own. All right, so what we're going to do is zoom in, Command right arrow. We're going to trim all these. Okay, so there's automation on here too, so let's get rid of that. So we're going to go into Mix, delete, press A. Let's see what's in here. Must be some kind of volume automation somewhere. Let's just Mix, delete all automation on selected track. Press A, come out of automation. Okay, cool. All right, so there will be little breaths at the end of these phrases sometimes. So we want to go T for tool, A for fade, fade it. Now stay in that. You could Command, marquee, Command X, select, Shift, spacebar to play region. Right there, there's a little breath at the end. So we want to zoom in, Control Option drag, Command marquee, Command X, and then fade it. Let's hear it. Clean. Select this region, Shift, spacebar. Okay, Command marquee, X. Now I want to get rid of all of these interludes. There is various noises within here, so we're going to get rid of all of that. Same here, any rattling around in the room, we're going to get rid of. Like this. There is a tool that you can use for this called Strip Silence, but I much prefer to do it myself. Okay, and I'm going to go through the whole track, get rid of all the extra regions that we don't need, clean up all the in-betweens. I'm just Command marquee, see right here, watch this. You can also just Command click with the marquee and it'll play from there, spacebar. Not real loud, but once you turn this up, you're going to hear whatever that was. Hear that? A little click. You can't have those things. This is the pro stuff here. Cleaning up your vocals. Okay. Let's click this. Shift spacebar. Command marquee X. Get rid of all this in between here. Your background vocals have to be extra clean because you don't want noises, pops, clicks, breaths that don't need to be there. Okay, now we've done all that. Here's a trick. Return. You can press T twice, go into your pointer, Control Option zoom to the top here, press T, press A, fade it. And it's going to fade the tops of all of these. See that? So all your selected regions will be faded. Now we could probably do the end of one of these. Just a tiny little fade. And if you look, all the ends are faded. Okay, so there's a little shortcut for your fades. Now we've got the background vocal harmony 1 dialed in. We can unsolo that. Next step, T twice for pointer, Command marquee, select all the way. Make sure that you get the end of the region in there. J for join. And that first vocal harmony is ready to go. Okay, you're going to do the same thing here. You could preview these takes, choose the one you want, or pick all the best parts. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to select this, shift away. That second half's a little shaky. Let's see if this one might be better. Less than or comma to go back, space bar to play. Let's preview this one. Okay, the timing's off on that one a little bit. Let's preview this one. Let's hear this one again. Okay, so it's tricky because this one goes a little too long. I like the end of this one matches this part better, but the top of this one. So I'm going to zoom in here and try to get that working. That's okay. Now the pitch isn't quite as good. I wonder if the pitch might be better here. Nope. I like this take. All right, sounds a little smoother. Let's hear the whole thing. This one goes a little long. Let's try this one. Maybe this whole little take could work. I like that. We could preview these others too until we like. But now, if we do that, we've got the comp A. You can see all the best parts that we've chosen are in the comp. Now, we can do a couple things here. If you're not confident in that comp and you want to save it for later, let's see. These ones are already comped. So let's clean this. So there's automation on lots of stuff. I'm going to go in here and delete all automation here. Get rid of all that. Close that. Okay, so if you want to save these, if you think you might change your mind later, you can do this. Select this track. And we want to actually, for doing this process, put an endpoint in here. So let's do that now. So I'm going to go into custom in here. Go into customize control bar and click this button to add the project end. Click out of here. 113 is where we're at now. I want to click here, type in 113, and that puts my project end right here. Looks like I cut it a little close, so I'm gonna drag that out, and now we're good. Zoom back. I'm gonna select this track here. Control Command B. New track, and we're going to take this off. We're not going to keep that. So we don't want to include volume or pan because we're going to decide that stuff later. All we want to do is bounce all this to a new track. And what we've done is it muted the original and it chose our comps here, or it bounced our comps, but we could still come back, Control M, unmute, and change our mind later. Okay? Control M to mute it back. So that way you have your comp, but you also have a safety. You didn't flatten it and commit. At this point, you can leave this in here, but what I would do is Control H and hide it. And just know that you got that in the background. You can always reveal it by pressing the H. And here it is, this whole track. You can unhide it by pressing this. Okay. Cool, so now we got that done. We're almost done with vocals. Here's the ad-lib. The ad-lib looks like the comp was decided in the tracking session, so let's listen to this. Shift spacebar after selecting. If you find a way out the ocean. Okay, so I recorded that and I know that those are the takes I want, so I'm going to commit and flatten. Before I do anything else, I'm going to listen here. Marquee, Command X. All this, there's so much automation here apparently. Mix, delete, all automation on selected track. Okay, marquee that out. Marquee all this out. Clean up this vocal. And then I'm going to listen to it. The open, if you find a way out the ocean, way out, way out. Okay, that's clean. So now I'm going to marquee this all the way to the top. J for join, create. And there's your process for cleaning up the vocals. They all start at the top and they're super clean. Let's see. The guitar has a section here. Looks like we want to see what's going on here. What would have been cooler is if we planned that ahead and had a strum. But that's where the vocal delay is going to be. Questioning, should we shift click all of this, Control M, and listen to what it sounds like with it. Sounds kind of, it could be cool. So this is an editing decision of the production team. So in this case, that decision was made previously, so I'm gonna go with it, but maybe try just this much of it. Actually sounds a little bit smoother. Oops. So I'm actually going to keep that right there and commit. You know what? I want to be safe. We're going to duplicate this guitar track just in case they change their mind. We're going to grab this. We're going to pull it down. And we're going to leave it right there in the background just in case. And we should be good to go here. We're going to grab this. And we're going to zoom in. Fade. Make sure it's clean. Marquee. Both of these all the way to the top. Join. Create. And it looks like it did not do this one, so let's try that. It's not letting me join that one. Or, oh, I'm pressing strange. Not sure why it won't let me do that one. Well, Control Command B. Bounce track in place. Unmute. Control Command B. Bounce in place. There we go. Alright, now I've got that guitar break. I can actually delete that and delete that track. And there's my backup, but I'm going to mute. Control M, mute that. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the rest of the tracks here. We're actually almost done. We just got to choose our comps. Looks like that was already chosen for us. So we'll check those, make sure they're clean, flatten and merge. We'll check all these little punch-ins, join, make sure everything's at the top of the timeline, and then export multi-tracks.